Samini, yeah, like a hot kpakposhito at the grinder. Oh wow, beautiful, beautiful vibe. Like the airway they breathe, I they feel them for everywhere. Charlie, the vibes, they do. Samini still doing his thing. Done with school, done with SRC president, and Charlie, back to the grind. You're welcome. This is the show. Are you doing your checks, guys? They say the tip of your penis should be the same color as the rest. If not, Grandma was pouring hot water down that place when we were young. I remember those milk tins, and they'll put a hole at the bottom, they'll put water inside. Baby screaming, wah, wah, wah. They were doing us a lot of damage. No more of those things. Now we have Nyankuvu. Our eyes have opened. How do you say it in Ghana? Inye or something. Is that it? Our eyes are open, so we're learning new things, all right? And there was a comment from somebody who said he's a man with disabilities. How does he follow his wife to the clinic? Yes, follow her. And if you use crutches or a wheelchair, you can still follow your wife and take her, yeah? Support her. She's looked beyond the disability. You're her husband, so I think you should just follow her and give her the support that she needs. We're going to be talking about dealing with corruption in about 1 hour and a couple of minutes. So that's a conversation you want to be part of. And then we are going to the theaters, looking at voices in our heads. And that's something interesting to do with mental health. But for now, we are doing headlines. My guests are ready, seated, and about to do the do as far as our conversation on the headlines. Our WhatsApp number is 055 556 1034. Professor Daniel Bruce, he's been reading The Obstacle is the Way, a really good book. He's a clinical psychologist, a man of many parts, and he's part of our Tuesday morning panel. Prof. Bruce, shalom to you.
Shalom.
Good to see you. And sitting next to him is another man of many parts. He is the Director General of the Internal Audit Agency. He's a lawyer, an accountant, man of figures. He used to be a teacher as well. And when we have any financial issues, he decodes them, he breaks them down, so that we can understand them from the layman's point of view. Dr. Eric Udru Osai, proud pre-second.
That's right.
Indeed. Prof. Bruce, where did you go to secondary school?
Anglo Secondary School.
Anseko.
Yeah.
What's
another good school.
Fantastic.
Anseko, Zico.
Yes.
Yes. I was in Anseko.
And so what's your school motto?
Hey.
I've sent you off. It will come.
It will come.
But what is the pre-sex motto?
Illuminatio vedimus lumen. In thy light we shall see light. In the light of God we shall see light.
In the light of God we shall see light.
Illuminatio vedimus lumen.
I think it was think perfect, speak perfect, and then it was changed to truth and service. Anseko. I've just found it out. It still doesn't ring a bell for you.
The man was the bookworm.
Because your name, you had an interesting nickname.
Myself?
Yes, you told us your nickname.
Yes, Sagacity.
Sagacity.
Right.
Who gave you that name?
Oh, my colleagues, my friends.
Why?
Well, I don't know why they conferred it on me, but they said my ways of doing things look like a wise person.
So you started not me today.
Oh no,
sagacity.
Sagacity, unlike knowledge may increase according to ages.
That's right.
Okay.
I can give an appellation of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What's on your mind this morning, Prof. Bruce?
Well, thank you. I have two issues.
Okay.
On my mind. It's all about congratulating messages to two distinguished individuals. One is your own colleague, Mr. Kwame Asiedu. He has won the Mean Money Show Award and also emerged as the Media Personality of the Year. I need to congratulate him, and all that people should learn from him. In these days that we have media plurality and proliferation of radio stations and TV stations, what you have to do is to know your job and do it very well. And definitely you will emerge as he has done. So congratulations to him. He must remain as he is. He should not try to imitate anyone. He must learn his job and do it very well. This is the second time he's winning an award. He has won some time ago in Ethiopia, where he actually talked about the genesis of high life music in Ghana. That actually won the heart of people, and he won that one. He should keep it up and is projecting the name of GBC. And people like you, you must also make it your determined effort that one day you must emerge the best breakfast show host of the year, and we shall all celebrate you.
Amen.
Secondly, this morning I want to congratulate the Agbogbo of Asogli State, Toby Apede the 14th. He has done something very good, which I think all of us must start to look at. The flood that occurred in the whole Banco area made him to go into action. Quickly has launched a fund. I'm told that it's about 150,000 in collaboration with the whole municipal assembly, that they want to restructure and redesign that area in a way to prevent future occurrence of such floods. When things happen like that, I think we must look beyond the effects and rather convert that obstacle into opportunities. If that has not happened, that 150,000 Ghana cedis will be sitting somewhere idle. So we need to be very grateful to God that sometimes He pushes us to think and reason. And everything that happens, in fact, we need to look for opportunities and think of how do we prevent this from happening. That comes to the point that many of us, we have perceiving eyes. If an event happens, we only look at setbacks, unsurmountable events, things that we cannot do, and then bring issues into the event. These issues can never help us solve the problem. What you need to do is to have observable eye, or what you call observing eye. The event happened, you try to look at it objectively, rule out the setbacks, rule out the misconceptions, rule out the obstacles, and then you think of how do I solve this problem. If all of us will have such an eye like the Agbogbo Mafia of the Asogli Street, I think any event that comes our way, we'll convert it to an advantage and move forward.
Okay. So you are shouting out Togwe Apede the 14th?
Yes.
Agbogbo Mafia of Asogli State?
Yes.
And then Kwame
Asiedu of GBC Radio Newsroom.
Fantastic for what they've done, and it's always good to appreciate those who have done well.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kwame Asiedu, Unique FM, congratulations. We wish you the very best. And keep flying, keep soaring. And of course, Togwe also, we wish you the very best and keep doing the good stuff for Asogli State and Ghana, and by extension, Africa as well. Thank you, Prof. Bruce. And now to you, Dr. Sai, what's on your mind this morning?
Thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers. What's on my mind? The first one is to also add my voice to congratulate Kwame Asiedu. Yes, Asiedu for the award. The second one is I want to encourage all leaders that leadership is not a popularity contest. A leader is the one who takes the most difficult decisions, irrespective of the decision you take. I mean, it will affect one party or the other. Do not be worried about criticism. Criticism is part of leadership. So if you fear to be criticized, don't opt to serve, because you'll definitely be criticized. But my advice is that ensure that the decision you take is the best, and you can stand by the decision any day, any time. You'll be criticized as a leader, but just be sure that you've taken the right decisions. Maintain a very good emotional balance, and then ensure that you always set the record for others to write. I'm saying this because most of the times you get leaders being criticized, and because they fear criticisms, they are doing something right, and you realize that they'll stop doing what is right. But please continue. It is normal in public service for people to drag you in the mud, especially when you seem to be doing the right thing. So people take delight in bringing you down by saying all kinds of things. But remain resolute and know that as a leader, it is not a popularity contest. You are there to serve, and make sure that you have served your people. Secondly, I want to congratulate the Adenta Municipal Assembly. They have started patching the potholes in the Adenta and its environs. I urge them to continue to do that for all other areas. However, I'm encouraging all assemblies to take a cue from what Adenta has started doing. I know some assemblies have started patching the potholes. Please, you don't need to use your own resources if you don't have it. Enter into PPP arrangement. Get social responsibility from firms and companies operating in your areas, and please fill the potholes and patch the potholes, because it is creating a lot of problems for us. Finally, the finance minister will be presenting the mid-year budget review. It is a Public Financial Management Act requirement, and Section 28 of the Public Financial Management Act requires that before the end of July of every year, the finance minister should appear before Parliament and give us an indication of how we are performing. The PFM Act is clear on the areas the finance minister should focus, and it includes a review of recent macroeconomic development in Ghana, inflation and issues about the dollar, an update of macroeconomic forecast, where we are going by way of end-year inflation, an analysis of total revenue, which is very important to me, an analysis of the total revenue, expenditure, and financing performance of Ghana in the first 6 months of 2023. That is very, very important to me. And then a presentation of a revised budget outlook for the unexpired term of the fiscal year, the next 6 months. Where are we going? This presentation is so important that I'm informed it will happen on the 25th of July. Ghanaians must make sure they follow through so that we'll know where we are going as a country, even as our economy bounces back. Thank you very much.
Okay, so mid-year reviews coming up.
Yes.
The trials of leadership, and then potholes disappearing in Adenta,
yeah.
my former neighborhood. So, and thank you so much. So that's Dr. Osai with his take, and then earlier Prof. Bruce was talking about congratulations, giving flowers to Mr. Nsedu and Toby Apede. The 14th, your WhatsApp numbers, who do you want to congratulate? I would like to know. 055-556-1034 is our WhatsApp number. These are the headlines today. 1.5 million young persons not in education, employment, or training, according to the 2022 third quarter labor statistics report. That's in today's Ghanaian Times. To abolish or not, Speaker defers debate on death penalty for more consultation. That's Ghanaian Times. The Daily Graphic, Accra streets, death trap for motorists, traffic lights dead, urban roads, battles to keep them on. And we've been doing a lot of issues on traffic lights on this show with our Keep an Eye team. Suppliers demand full payment of debt that the government owes. It's on page 25. And the Finder, 100 million cedis disbursed to 105 enterprises for industrialization. Lands Ministry denies engaging land guards to protect state lands. And court quashes charge report against former PPA boss. Afienya Dawenya metal bridge near collapse. And I remember we did some reports on that particular bridge. And well, we keep talking about that bridge, and it's becoming something else. There's a piece in today's Ghanaian Times. You should take a look at page 6. It's written by Cameron Dodu, veteran journalist, titled "Asabi, This Is Your Chance." And he's talking about how the chiefs Asabi, Mr. Honorable Asamoah Boateng being the Minister for Lands, for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, how he can galvanize the traditional authorities to deal with Galamsey, which is killing their water bodies. And I found out that there's an ancient custom in Brekum where people are not allowed to rear goats. And all of a sudden the chiefs have brought back that custom, and it's causing a lot of confusion. But if we can have a custom against rearing of goats, why can't we have a custom against destroying water bodies? And that was the meat of that argument. Go check it out in today's Ghanaian Times. Prof. Bruce, which of the headlines are you interested in?
It's about the youth.
The unemployment?
The unemployment.
Okay. So 1.5 million.
They are not in education.
Yes. Employment?
They are not in employment.
They are not in training.
They are not in training. Mm-hmm. So what are they doing? And who is feeding them? And how do they feed themselves? This is a warning to all of us that the youth, which constitute tomorrow, are going through crisis. And if we are not able to help them to overcome this crisis, we are having possible looming danger ahead of us. They are human beings who need to clothe themselves, who need to eat, and perhaps because they are biological beings, they always be oriented towards marrying and having children. Mm-hmm. So, who do they marry? And how do they look after themselves and their children that will come out as a blessing from getting married? I think we need to do something very serious about it. And we've been hearing our leaders saying they have created 1 million jobs and all these things. Mm-hmm. So if these jobs are created, why are we hearing these things from Ghana Statistical Service that we have this number of youth who are lying idle.
Let me give you some numbers.
Yeah.
According to this report, Eastern region has the highest proportion of youth who are not in education, employment, or training. That's 30%. Bono region has the lowest percentage with 14.5%. And then 1 in every 10 people between 15 to 24 years, representing 1.4 million young people, have never gone to school. 10% have never gone to school. And then 12% of females in that 15 to 24 age have never attended school, compared to 10.2% of men. In Savannah region, 43% have not gone to school. Northeast, 36.8%, Northern, 33.3%, Upper West, 20.9%, OT, 20.7%. So that's almost, in those 5 regions, that's almost half of the students have never gone to school. So we have a serious issue with respect to education, employment, and training.
Well, it is not always going to formal education that will make you become a successful person. We also have informal education. Those who go into informal education, they are not able to read and write, but they can acquire skills that will help them to be employable by people who need their skills, so that from rendering those services, they can be rewarded in a form of a salary or whatever. So they can also use it to look after themselves, that become dependent on society. Now we are talking about a lot of illegal practices and immoral issues. If these people have never gone to school, what arrangements are there for them? Once we have the formal school system, we need to also have an informal way of training people who will not have the resources to go to school. But unfortunately, there's a research that we have done. We realize that the income of parents do not determine the type of career their children want to practice. So we should rather call these people to a counseling center. We should have career development counseling in almost all our regional capitals, and even in the district, or even include these assemblies. We must be open to the young ones. Come, let's help you to realize and identify your potential, your interest in terms of career that you want to practice. And then we find ways and means for you to go into that practice. Right now, as we speak, a lot of our youth in Ghana now, they are not ready to go into skills training. Everybody is looking up to government opportunities to get employment and wear a tie and all those things I go. Meanwhile, those of us on the government salary, government voucher, we are also complaining that the salary is insufficient. It's just recently that the Judicial Service is clapping the president for approving a new salary scale for them. So we need to, just as we have formal schools, technical schools, vocational schools, which are highly formal, we should also have trade learning centers for people who will not be able to go through the formal school system, so that they must also go there and be trained, and they will graduate, and they will make their skills that they have acquired available to Ghanaian society.
Prof. Bruce, I'm glad you are talking about the unwillingness of people to learn skills.
Yeah.
Because if you look at today's, if you look inside today's graphic, page 9, so Britain has added a number of construction roles to its shortage occupation list, allowing the building industry to bring in staff from abroad more easily to help employers struggling to fill positions. So I'm going to list the jobs for you. Bricklayers,
Yes.
masons, roofers, roof tilers,
Yes.
slaters,
Yeah.
carpenters, joiners, and plasterers who benefit from cheaper visas and more relaxed employment criteria under the changes. So Britain is suffering from acute labor shortages, and so they have to now recruit workers from abroad. So bottom line, if you are a carpenter, if you are a roofer, if you are a bricklayer, if you are a joiner, if you are a tiler, jobs that people look down on here, the British want you.
Yeah.
They are lowering their visa charges. I'm not encouraging. I'm just saying that one man's meat is another man's poison. The job that you're looking down on is highly valued somewhere else, and they are prepared to lower their visa charges to attract Ghanaians and Africans with those skills. So there's a demand for those skills.
But CAF, indeed, as a country, we are also modernizing that system. I know there is a TVET service that has been established to ensure modernization of how they do their things. So maybe it will tie into what you just said, because we know that previously, once you go and learn as an apprentice and you pass out as a mason, that is it. But now they are adding value to it. They are helping them form cooperatives so they'll be able to register them. They are helping them to do business in much safe environment. So I think that I agree with you. It's a challenge. All of us must be concerned. But I think that people must avail themselves to the training so that even if you would go out there under the regime of a relaxed visa, you go there as a well-prepared person. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of them in the system. In fact, I have been advocating a formalization of the informal sector so that we'll be able to leverage on it to even mobilize revenue. Because most of these artisans are there. They are not paying taxes. They charge so much. They don't give receipts and nothing. Yet they benefit from government facilities, national health insurance, etc. So if we modernize it and we help them to even establish their business well, they'll be able to impact on those who are not able to go have formal education. They'll be able to train them. They'll be able to raise a family, and they'll be able to impact on society. So I think, but my worry, CAF, is about the 12% of female compared to 10% who have not gone to school. And you see, when we talk about school, we should not look at tertiary education, secondary education. Currently, secondary education is free. At least the JSS concept was introduced by former President Rawlings' regime so that the average Ghanaian will be able to read and write and have some basic skills. When this BEC or GSS thing started, we had this life skills. And these life skills that they were learning is aimed at capacitating or equipping you with something. So if you are not able to even progress beyond JSS, you can start with something. You can go to a vocational training center and then you can make a living. But I don't know what is happening. So if we still have people out there who have never gone to school.
12%.
12%.
Girls.
I mean, it's a source of worry.
It's crazy.
And the opportunities are there. So I think that we should look at our national social protection system again. Where can we find these people? Have we decentralized the process enough? Do we have a district assembly that will be able to help the system to locate where these people are? Will we be able to give them an opportunity to also learn a trade or two? I think this should be a worry to us because they are the future of this country.
Big time. Prof. Bruce.
Yeah, talking about the ladies who are not able to go to school and do not have skills.
Yes.
12%. There is a seamstress in Makola Market right now. I went to her. She was lamenting that she bought 4 industrial machines. She went to a radio station and advertised that, please, I am ready to help you learn sewing free of charge. But as she was speaking to me, no girl was ready to come.
Nobody turned up.
As you look at the machines, she has plenty of work to do.
She's looking for people to
She's
help.
looking for ladies to train them to become seamstress.
She should go to the guys.
The guys too, where are they? They are not ready. When you go to the market and you see elderly people, very soon they will go on retirement and we may not even have young ones to sew our dresses for us. It's a worrying situation.
And you say AI can't sew clothes. So there's artificial intelligence cannot enter those places.
No.
So it's human beings who are always there. I mean, all those jobs are listed. No computer can
no computer can do it.
Tile a roof or do carpentry.
So
those are AI-proof jobs.
Yeah. So this revelation is a great eye-opener to all of us.
It's a national security issue.
You don't think
we
that,
need to do something very serious.
You don't think that, how people are worried about artificial intelligence? I mean, this is an opportunity for the TVET area to advertise the fact that their jobs are artificial intelligence proof.
Yeah.
Because a computer can't do the work of a carpenter.
Computer cannot do plastering.
No, they can't do plastering.
How will a computer enter your room and do POP for you?
They can't.
Yes.
Computer cannot do anything for you.
So those are
cannot do the tiling.
You can't do the tiling.
So it has a limitation. We should not celebrate it at all.
No.
It is not the point of our focus. How do we make these young ones skillful? Whether they go to school or not. They must acquire some skills to put at the disposal of our nation. Right now, it is even believed that we are importing skillful personnel from the Republic of Togo.
Yes, I know the plasterers.
A lot of Ghanaian youth, they are not ready to learn carpentry, masonry work, and any other
That
thing.
one I know. The carpenters and the POP people, the
Yeah.
POP especially,
Yeah.
the Plaster of Paris people,
Yeah.
are mostly from Togo.
They are from Togo. Show me the number of Ghana, the statistics is very insignificant. And they're just trooping into Ghana,
Yeah.
doing that job, taking the money away from
Ghanaians
us.
are building, and they want POP.
They want POP. You see the point. During Professor Mills' time, when the oil field was open, they were looking for marine welders.
Welders.
Do you know the type of people who went there? Those who do body straightening and welding by the roadside. Only for them to be turned and said, no, please, this is not the type of welding.
No,
I
it's a
have."
specialized
As
kind
we
of welding.
speak right now, do we have marine welding school for our youth? That's a huge job over there.
Exactly. 'Cause you
Go
need them
to
on the
Tema
oil fields.
Harbor now. They are looking for marine welders. The ship that can, because of the saltiness of the sea, is destroying the metal. It's a huge industry.
And they pay dollar.
They pay dollar.
Dollar is now 12.5 or
Yeah.
is it 11 or 11?
Is it-
11. It's 11 now. It's
Since
11,
that time,
so,
we
yeah.
don't have marine welders. If you introduce Ghanaian youth to it, they say, "Oh no."
Well,
Why?
you tell them that they will be paid in dollars, and then their eyes will open.
But you should have the skills before
you have to go and learn it.
You have to go and learn it.
Yeah.
Wait, they are not even in training. They are not prepared to go into training.
So 1.5 million youths, not in education, not in employment, not in training. The question is, are you one of those 1.5 million? What's it like to not be in education, not be in employment, and not being in training? I would really love to hear from you. If you can send me a WhatsApp, I'll be happy. 055-556-1030. For my guests, Professor Bruce and Dr. Osai. What else is on your mind, Dr. Osai, with the headlines that I just read you?
Yes, Kaf. Also, let me say that those who are neither in employment, they don't have any skill, they've not gone to school, please get in touch with your district assembly. We have a national social protection system. The social welfare officer there should be able to help you, link you up to any of the vocational training institutions, irrespective of your capacity. Everybody is trainable. You can acquire one skill or the other. Do not sit down and get rusted. You are valuable to the Republic of Ghana, and you can be trained to support Ghana.
You know, 1.5 million is 2% of the population.
2%. So the assembly members
That's
and
a lot of people.
and the district assembly should help us locate where these people are. And if each and every assembly member can help us capacitate 5 people in your electoral area, cumulatively, we'll be able to capacitate a lot of people.
Did I say 2%? No, that's 5%. Half of 30 million is 15 million.
15
so
million.
1.5 is 5%.
Sort of.
That's 5% of Ghana's population. If you count 100 people, 5 of them are a youth that is not in education, not in employment, and not in training. That's a serious number. And I guess when they say government disburses 100 million cedis to 105 enterprises to promote industrialization and youth employment, I guess that is a way of solving the problem. It's on the front page of today's Times, and you can see Mrs. Gifty Chum Ampofo, who, by the way, is
Deputy Minister.
with the Ghana Skilled Development Fund. Sorry, she's the Deputy Minister for Education, Mrs. Gifty Chum Ampofo. Front page of today's Ghanaian Times, talking about government dispersing 100 million cedis to 105 enterprises. So to promote industrialization, youth employment. So that's an average, maybe what, $1 million each?
Sort of.
Roundabout. Okay, all right. So hopefully that will solve some of the issues. Yes. Anything on your mind?
Yes, the land ministry.
Okay. So land ministry. There's a headline there
Headline
that I want to read a little bit of the story on. So this is in today's Finder. Okay. So let me find the Finder. So the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has dismissed reports that it has allegedly engaged land guards to protect state lands. This is in a PR unit statement issued by the ministry. The ministry would like to set the record straight that government, and for that matter, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, does not contract the services of land guards in its operations. However, the ministry, through its agency, Lands Commission, legally engaged the services of Enoch Holding Limited, a registered limited liability company, to assist in reclaiming encroached government lands. This engagement has been in effect since 2012. So there was an allegation by a member of parliament for Tamale North, Alhaji Sunyini, that the chief director of the ministry had told the Parliamentary Select Committee on Lands and Forestry that the ministry had engaged the services of land guards to retrieve encroached lands. So the Ministry of Lands is denying engaging land guards to protect state lands.
Yes, indeed, under the new Lands Act, if you engage a land guard, it's a criminal act. The Land Act has criminalized land guardism in this country. So the issue of land guard is not to be even mentioned when it comes to land administration in Ghana. But the Land Act also allows state institutions, including the Lands Commission and other allied institutions, to protect state lands by engaging the services of third parties. The term the law uses, third parties, recognized third parties, not necessarily land guards. So I want to add my voice and say that it will be criminal for even the ministry to engage land guards formally, because the law forbids them from doing that. And it is good they have come to clarify this issue, because if they were not to clarify it, then everybody would think that it is good to do same, since the ministry itself is leading the charge. Okay. So basically that is that.
All right. So I just want to also read a police statement. So also an issue, let's see, so here we go. So yeah, so the police also has issued a statement on this land guard issue. So it was stated 17th July, which is yesterday. The police admin has taken notice of an online news story published on myjoyonline.com, in which the chief director of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources at a parliamentary committee meeting on July 10 is alleged to have stated that the Ghana Police Service procures the services of land guards to reclaim and protect its lands. The administration would like to categorically state that this claim is false, baseless, and unfounded, should be treated with the contempt it deserves. Police service has not on any occasion engaged the services of land guards to reclaim or protect its lands. In fact, on the contrary, the service has in recent times intensified its anti-land guard operations in communities affected by the activities of these land guards. And this renewed effort will not stop until perpetrators of such illegal activities are brought to justice. We wish to assure the public that the police service, working in partnership with other security agencies, remains committed to upholding the rule of law and ensuring public safety and security at all times, and will continue to count on the support of the good people of Ghana in this regard. Signed, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Director for Public Affairs, Greece, Ansa Akrufi. End of statement. And just a related story, today's finder. So a trader and 5 land guards who allegedly conspired to break a fence wall have been granted 50,000 cedi bail with 2 sureties each by an Accra Circuit Court. They were jointly charged with conspiracy to commit crime and causing unlawful damage. So this is a case that the police are working to deal with these issues, and they have denied procuring services of land guards to reclaim and protect their lands. Any comment on this, Professor Bruce?
Yeah, you see, how did they become land guards?
There's land to guard.
What was the motivation of deciding that I want to be a land guard? You don't have any skill, you don't have any education, you don't have any training, but yet you must meet the basic necessities of life: food, shelter, clothing. So that's why you pride yourself in, I want to be a land guard to protect somebody's land for a fee. How long will this profession take you? These are some of the disasters we have at our hand. No reasonable human being who have gotten to school, have a training and skill, would decide, I want to be a land guard. Even if you see them, you know that they have not gone to school. They have no training, but they must survive. So let us not glorify them to publish that these are the people, the police or the Ghana forces and all those things. You should not focus on them at all. Now, coming back to still the 1.5 million youth. One celebrated psychologist we call Sigmund Freud said, for you to avoid psychopathology in life, for you not to be taken to the psychiatric hospital and become a nuisance to society, you must be someone who has some kind of skills to offer. You must love to work and work to satisfy yourself and to satisfy society. Another psychiatrist, William Glasser, he was able to transform the American educational system to prevent psychopathology. As a consequence, people who go to school without having any skill and become a burden on society. He said, and the American educational system then was holding on 3 key points: memorization, seeking for the right answer, and making good grades. 1 + 1 is equal to 2. 2 + 2 is equal to 3.
It sounds like Ghana now.
Yes, that's what we are practicing now.
Memorization.
Memorization. seeking for the right answer and making the grades. That's why even a class 1 child or a kindergarten teacher will be given a homework. As to how that child was able to do the homework, the teacher is only interested in seeing the right answer. It's the mother who is doing the homework
for the child.
For the child. It's because we are now obsessed with getting the right answer and making the grades.
And memorizing.
So if you cannot memorize, you cannot make the grade, you will not be part of the education system, and you are likely to practice delinquency.
How did the man change the system in America?
He brought in skill-oriented curriculum and said, for you to come out of this school, you must have some skills to offer. This morning, go and give pure water sachet package to any group of children in any school in Ghana. Challenge them that I want you to use this thing, convert it to something very useful. There is a price for you. See how they reason and come out with something.